Everything seems to be under control in the convention center.
And Taggart?
He's on stage now. His protection is deep. Only those with VIP passes can get by the guards.
We'll just stay here and make sure none of those hooligans try to sneak in the back door.
This is the end for your kind, all. This riot will force the UN to adopt regulations.
Hey, it's relatively calm in here. Don't do anything to rile these people up.
Bill is really changing the world for the better.
Or changing it back to what it used to be. To before these people started poisoning their bodies. Or to use his words, their divine engines.
See, I have no problem with amputees wanting to get augmentations.
Especially our soldiers. That's the least they deserve after defending our country. Like Taggart's patient, Ezekiel.
Right. And what happened to Ezekiel? He got himself a new limb that sent him into a spiral of despair because of the drugs. Essentially, what Bill Taggart is asking is, do we really want to have a world filled with addicts being forced to pay exorbitant amounts of money to a bunch of corporate neuropozyne pushers?
I just don't get why certain people have this loony idea that augmentations will make the world better.
Well, as you can see by what's going on out there, I have a lot of work to do to convince the world.
He's going to influence legislation, how he's going to convince you this is really what you want? With fear! He's already started! Look outside, in our streets. Who do you think whipped up that frenzy? And I don't blame them, I blame people like Taggart, people who are constantly trying to divide us by our differences, instead of uniting us by our similarities. Listen, I've been a victim of this anti-aug backlash. I was attacked simply for having been to a limb clinic by people who were not augmented, people with an axe to grind. And do you know who saved me? An augmented man, a stranger. So you tell me where the real danger comes from. The Humanity Front is just that. A front. A front for hate-mongering and William Taggart's irrational need to keep us in the Dark Ages. I'm not here to tell you that augmentations will make the world a better place. I'm here to stand up for my right to choose. When Hugh Darrow discovered the secret of augmentation, he gave us the chance to better ourselves, to reach for limits that we couldn't even imagine before. Well, you've just heard William Taggart speak, and isn't he a smooth talker? He doesn't want you to better yourselves. He wants to limit you. He wants the government to have jurisdiction over your body. You want to get augmented? Oh, no. I'm sorry, but we're not gonna let you. You're not gonna let me? Ha! And do you know how he's gonna influence legislation? How he's going to convince you this is really what you want? I just with
Subscribe to
fear.
Taggart's Neanderthal
He's
opinions.
already started.
It's like he thinks human development is a sin.
I can't believe there are still people out there with such backward mentalities.
This UN resolution he wants passed is persecution, plain and simple.
Agreed. He loves to claim over and over again what a peaceful organization Humanity Front is. But just look outside. In a non-direct way, he's promoting this kind of reaction.
Well, there have always been nuts like Taggart trying to stop human progress. By the end of the day, the human need to explore always wins out. He'll be a relic in no time.
I hope you're right. I'm just wondering when Hugh Darrow is going to come out of his shell and take a position. It seems like this whole resolution is on hold until he speaks up.
You tell me where the real danger comes from. And William Taggart's irrational need to keep us in the dark ages. I'm not here to tell you that augmentations will make the world a better place. I'm here to stand up for my right to choose.
You don't have to get uppity just because I don't agree with you, miss.
I'm not getting hot. It just frustrates me how some of you pro-humanists act so superior. Like you have all the answers to every ethical question ever posed.
Well, who are you to think you can just turn yourself into robots, abuse drugs, and then think you can function freely in our society?
You and that asshole Taggart just try to take away my freedom and see what happens.
He wants to limit you. He wants the government to have jurisdiction.
Constellators posted.
Yeah. Backstage area is completely blocked off. Even the janitor can't get back there now.
What about the air vents?
You're kidding, right? Have you seen the size of those vents? You expect a contortionist or midget is going to try to assassinate Taggart?
Don't get smart.
Human evolution is a fantasy, but that is exactly what I am telling you. As a world...
Where's your sidekick, Taggart? 6 months ago, Seraph Industries was attacked by mercenaries whose objective was to cripple our research. But I've learned the attack was just a smokescreen. Megan Reed's team was kidnapped, and Isaiah Sandoval, your personal aide, was involved.
That is ridiculous. Ladies and gentlemen, I apologize for Mr. Jensen's intrusion, and I assure you that these accusations are without basis.
Are they?
This is Sandoval. Why are you calling me here?
There's been a change of plans. Seraph's team must not make it to the hearing.
But that's too soon. If you want me to remove the GPLs, I'll need a full operating suite. Does the facility have one?
That's your man, Taggart. Talking about removing implanted GPL devices so that the people who took Seraph scientists could cover it up.
I see what's going on here. Seraph Industries has received 2 black eyes in the last few days. The first, due to the shocking news coming out of Montreal that biotech companies are secretly participating in unethical super soldier experiments. And the second, as a result of their violent escalation of today's peaceful protest. David Seraph and his corporate bedfellows are desperate and in imminent danger of losing the regulation vote, so this man has been sent here to attack my reputation.
I'm right here, Taggart. Look at me. I admit, I wouldn't feel bad if your reputation was damaged in front of the press, since you've been doing the same to my colleagues for years. But that's not why I'm here. Seraph scientists are alive, and it's time for the truth to come out.
The truth, Mr. Jensen, is that this recording of yours proves nothing. It could have been made by anyone in the world with a grudge against Humanity Front, and you are our prime suspect.
You're right, it's not enough to get a conviction. But it's enough for a search warrant. That's all I want, Taggart. Why are you standing in the way?
I'm not. I'm trying to protect Look, Mr. Jensen. My heart goes out to you. Perhaps it's best that you came to me rather than bringing this recording to the police. You need it to be some kind of proof because you're still suffering. You're trying to find someone else to blame for the emotional trauma you experienced when you woke up from that surgery and discovered you were no longer quite human.
The reason I'm obsessed with the past, Taggart, is that there are still 5 people missing and their attackers haven't paid for what they did. Your refusal to help me is getting in the way of justice.
Well, of course, justice is very important to me, naturally. What I question is whether or not you're on the right path to find it. What is it you're truly looking for here? Absolution? A return to the feeling of control you lost when your limbs were taken from you? Do you think coming here today and casting me as your enemy will help you achieve that?
You want to talk about control, Taggart? Let's talk about yours. It takes a lot of discipline to stand up in front of the press every time a pro-augmentation company or clinic is assaulted and then deny responsibility. How does it feel to know your people are so out of control they would resort to violence like that?
It tears me apart. But I cannot allow myself to feel guilty for the misguided actions of others. From the very day I founded Humanity Front, I made it clear that the group would be devoted to non-violent resistance. To deviate from this would mean dishonoring the memory of the very woman whose murder caused me to found the organization. Mr. Jensen, how can you possibly accuse me of doing otherwise?
What happened to your wife was tragic. But what's happening to Sarif scientists is going on right now, and you have a chance to do something about it. You have nothing to lose if Sandoval's innocent. And if he isn't, you can preserve your reputation by helping me. Why won't you do that?
Because I just can't believe Isaias would be guilty of this, but you're right. Whether he's guilty or not, I have to get to the truth. Marjorie would want it that way. Ladies and gentlemen, I apologize, but I'm going to have to beg your indulgence for a few moments more. If you will all please remain patient, I will return as soon as I can. Thank you. Mr. Jensen, I'll see you backstage.
This is Eliza Cassan, reporting to you live from Picus. Thousands of angry rioters took to the streets in several cities this evening after viewing controversial satellite footage uncovered by Picus. Detroit, Toronto, Mumbai, and Rio de Janeiro all report violent clashes taking place outside the doors of such well-known biotechnology firms as Kusanagi, Isolay, and Seraph Industries. The footage sparking the riots appears to show scientists performing crude, torture-like experiments on teams of augmented...
Mr. Jensen, I appreciate you allowing me to deal with this in a more discreet manner.
Save it, Taggart. You've wasted enough of my time as it is. Now where's Sandoval?
He has an apartment he uses when in this city, on Grand River Road. He mentioned he was feeling very run down, so I can only assume he went there.
I see.
He's not an evil man, Mr. Jensen. If he's done what you say, it's only because of his brother, Ezekiel. A man you might know better as Zeke Sanders.
Sanders? The man who attacked Sarah's manufacturing plant?
I knew nothing about it until after it was over, and then I tried. I tried to convince Isaiah not to follow in his footsteps.
Good job.
Mr. Jensen, please. Isaiah has done so much for so many needy people. People suffering from implant rejection. Promise me you will deal with him fairly.
That all depends on Isaiah.
I understand, but please try.
Outside the doors of such well-known biotechnology firms as Kusanagi, Isolay, and Sarif Industries. The footage sparking the riots...
I've told you all I know, Mr. Jensen. Isaiah has an apartment on Grand River Road. I don't know if he's there. I'm beginning to wonder if I ever knew anything about him. Please, Mr. Jensen, he is simply a confused man, torn by divided loyalties. Please, Mr. Jensen, he is simply a confused man, torn by divided loyalties.
And an ethical approach to research at all times. We invite critics and members of the UN to tour our facilities firsthand.
That is far enough! Get back!
But order, progress, and moral responsibility.
This is Eliza Cassell, reporting to you live from Picus.
Maintaining a safe environment and an ethical approach to research at all times. We invite critics and members of the UN to tour our facilities firsthand. They will find nothing but order, progress, and moral responsibility.
Looks as if the ball is now firmly in the United Nations court. This is Eliza Cassell, reporting to you live from Picus.
What are you doing in here, Hansa? Looking to start trouble?
Come on, come on! Jensen? I almost didn't recognize you. Jesus, Mary, and Joseph, what are the chances? Do you remember me? I was a rookie when you still rolled in SWAT.
Nikki. Of course I remember you. How you been? The brass got you on ride control too?
Yeah, I am. Or I was until... Damn it. Look, something big is going down, and I'm kind of freaking out here. You remember that MCBer, Jacob White? You busted him a couple of times.
Yeah, I remember him. Assault and possession. He's still running rackets?
No, I mean, yeah, shit, I don't know. Anyway, it doesn't matter, because he's moved on to bigger things.
Nikki, slow down.
Listen, hear me out. I just got word he has his hands on some real military-grade explosives. The prick's got a fucking bomb, Adam. And you know how much he hates the PD. He's going to hit us while we have our pants down with the riots. You gotta help us out here.
Nikki, I'm kinda busy. If he's got a bomb, just call it in and follow procedure.
What do you think I've been doing? I've been on the horn all night, and my CO already sent a patrol over to Jacob's house. We've got a warrant, so they searched the place, but nothing came up, not even Jacob. Now they're saying my CI is probably full of shit and just fucking with me. Bullshit! Jacob's using the riots as cover, and he's going to hit us, and hit us hard. Adam, I need you to trust me on this. You gotta help me find Jacob.
How did White even manage to get his hands on explosives?
My source says he got the bomb materials from some government stash out in Highland Park. It's all I know so far. But it all fits. He was last seen ranting at a rally about shattering the foundation of the hypocrisy or some bullshit like that. You know, quoting Che Guevara and talking about violent revolution.
Did he have the shirt, too?
What? Anyway, he practically named the date and time of this reckoning. And it's tonight. It has to be.
I have to admit, Nikki, I'm having a hard time believing White could come up with something like this. He can barely tie his own shoelaces without tripping all over himself.
That was then. This is now. After his last stint in Standish, he got bug-eyed crazy. Started talking about how the gang war in Derelict Row was all part of a government plot, and it's time he did something about it.
I remember him saying that augmented kid we took down last year was a cover-up.
Exactly! And he's been railing against Wayne Haas, the PD, and anyone else involved in that ever since. I'm telling you, Adam, he's been getting more and more violent. Now he's got explosives, and we've got a giant bullseye painted on our ass.
So why is it nobody trusts your source?
He used to run with White's old crew, but he's a 3-strike pert facing a dime on some damn parole violation. He's trying to cop a deal, so nobody trusts him. Thing is, I know he's reliable. He hasn't bullshitted me yet, and I don't think he's doing it now.
What is it exactly that you need me to do?
You mean you'll help me out? Really?
I didn't say that. Assuming I did agree to help, what would you need me to do exactly?
Oh. Well, based on Jacob's history and his new political agenda, I can almost guarantee he's going after cops. I've warned everyone working street detail and anyone else who'd listen to keep an eye out. But with half the force tied up with the protests and rioting, I can't get the manpower for a proper search. I need you to check a few spots my CI thinks Jacob could be at, and take care of the threat if you can. Even if you find nothing, great. It put my mind at ease, at least.
Nikki, look, I don't work for the city anymore, and I don't exactly have a lot of time right now.
Yeah, I understand. Look, the cops have a Deadpool going. I don't like it, but you kill a cop killer and you get a bounty. I usually reserve this to pay off our CIs, but if Jacob really is going after us, then he's as good as dead as far as I'm concerned. You take him out, the bounty is yours. To be honest, though, I'd rather see him rotting behind bars. If you can knock him out and give him to us alive, I'll try to sweeten the deal.
Fine, I'll help. Let's go over what we know, just the facts.
What we know? Just the facts? What we know is he's certified batshit crazy, hates cops, quotes Che Guevara, and got his hands on military-grade explosives. What more do you need to know? Oh, Christ, man. I've got nobody to help me, and I can't even breathe. How am I supposed to find this guy? The bomb could be right under us, right now!
Nikki, you're a cop. Act like it. How are you gonna earn your stripes if you shit yourself under pressure like some wet behind the ears rookie at the academy?
Fuck. You're right. Damn it. I'm sorry. I lost my head. I'm still in the game, Adam. It won't happen again. You can trust me on this.
Just focus, okay? We know that White hates cops, so his first target is probably gonna be the precinct or somewhere nearby. Make sense?
Yeah, and he wouldn't risk hanging around the bank or transit station. They've got those security cameras with facial recognition software. And the precinct is shut down thanks to the internal affairs investigation. That leaves the precinct alleys and sewers as the most probable places to find White. I'm going to get on the horn and update my CO. Can you check those two locations? And Jensen, be careful. White may have left booby traps lying around. He's like that, now that I think about it.
No problem. Anything else you can give me?
I don't know. You remember what White looks like, right? Tall, Caucasian, skinhead? He's not the quietest guy, so you'll probably hear him before you see him.
Yeah, a real philosopher king. I remember.
Yeah, so if you just keep your eyes and ears open, I'm sure you'll find him. Also, I heard he's had some major augmentation work done. I'd be extra careful around him. I think the White we used to know has been replaced with something much worse.
Got it.
I know it's a long shot, but I'm hoping we get backup to expand the search. In the meantime, we can check those areas, and who knows, maybe we'll catch a break. Oh, and Jensen, please don't turn him into a martyr. I'd prefer him breathing.
Stand at the edge of the abyss. It's almost too late. The city burns down. You wait for them to save you?
Sorry, I can't let you into the station at this time.
But one of those hooligans stole my purse!
I understand, ma'am, but you're going to have to wait until tomorrow to file a complaint. The precinct is locked down due to a gas leak.
That's not what I heard. I heard somebody got past security and stole some secret evidence.
You guys can't even keep your own building safe.
Welcome to the Detroit
Stay away from Seraph Plaza. That's ground zero for this riot. Sorry, buddy. The precinct station is closed indefinitely. Someone actually had the balls to break in and steal evidence. Goddamn city is going to hell.
Really. Like anyone can walk into the precinct and take whatever they want.
I know. What if this wasn't the first time? Some gang leader out here could have profiles of every cop on the force. They may even know where we live.
As long as the media doesn't get a hold of this. If they do, we're gonna get reamed in public by the mayor. You know how much the commission loves that.
We already got the feds in there, looking at us and shaking their heads like we're a bunch of naughty children.
Access granted.
Nothing will delay this.
Access granted.
Even the slightest suspicious fluctuation in signal, we have to shut down.
I really appreciate you helping us out, Adam, but we're running out of time. We gotta find White before he blows something up.
We're in the clear. I left White unconscious in the sewers under the precinct.
Thank God. The chief finally took me seriously and is sending some men to help out. We'll take it from here.
Great. Anything else?
Yeah, like we talked about. Here's your cut of the Deadpool bounty. I threw in a little something extra for bringing him in alive. It's good to know you're still one of the good guys, Jensen.
By the way, Nikki, White's bomb wasn't even explosive. It was a gas bomb. I managed to disable it, but you might want to get a disposal team down there to do a proper sweep and clean.
Ah, shit! I totally forgot about that. I'll get EOD on it right away. Last thing we need are more casualties. Man, I'm sure glad I bumped into you tonight. You're gonna have to let me buy you a pint down at Maggie's sometime. If I hang around you long enough, maybe some of that famous Jensen swagger will rub off on me.
Yeah, we'll do that sometime. Take care of yourself, Nikki.
Nora 92 to Central. Come in, Central. Over.
Nora 92, this is Central. Over.
That code 10 I called in earlier is actually gas ordnance. We need EOD down there for cleanup, stat. Tell first response to keep their hands off, and we should quarantine the block just to be sure. Over.
10-4, Nora 92. Thanks for the heads up. Stand by for updates. Central out.
Thanks for trusting me, Jensen. I won't forget it.
What's your pleasure, friend? See you soon.
Now we stand at the edge. Yes! It's almost...
sure you closed the door?
Yeah. Of course I did. What do you think I am? An idiot?
You're not gonna make me answer that, are you?
Gonna rip your phony heart out!
You sure you closed the door?
Yeah. Of course I did. What do you think I am? An idiot?
You're not gonna make me answer that, are you?
Pritchard, looks like Sandoval's got a secret bunker. I'm gonna flush him out.
Let's hope he's still there.
You always get assigned to the shittiest spots.
Yeah, why would anyone come down here?
I think they're afraid someone's gonna try to sneak a bomb into the Doc's locker.
I'd be more worried about what's in the Doc's head than what's in his locker.
Gunshots!
Nail him! You ain't making it easy! If Sandoval doesn't come out of there in a few minutes, I'm going in.
No, you're not. He's on the edge. There's no telling what he'll do.
More of a reason to go in there and talk to him.
Hell no. I don't want to walk in on him. He might get scared and start popping off shots. Just let him sort out this mess by himself.
If Sandoval doesn't come out here, I'm going there.
He's on the edge. No telling what he'll do.
More of a reason to go in there.
Hell no. I don't want to walk in on him. He might get scared and start popping out shots. Just let him sort out this mess by himself.
And this is why I urge every member of my staff, every man and woman dedicated to the true mission of the Humanity Front, to do the same. Isaias, if you're watching this, I beg you, do not allow misplaced anger to destroy everything we have struggled to achieve.
It's over. He knows I can't come back from that.
Everybody knows, Sandoval. You can't hide from what you've done.
What I've done, Mr. Jensen. I spent years patching people back together from augmentation botch jobs and systemic organ rejection brought on by implants. And now, because of Bill's betrayal, I'll never practice medicine again.
You really want to help someone? Tell me where Sarif's scientists are.
I wish I could, Mr. Jensen. But my involvement ended right after I failed to remove their GPLs.
You failed?
Turns out, my surgical skills weren't good enough to bypass David Sarif's insurance policy. So for all I know, those little implants are broadcasting right now, on a frequency so low your network specialist wouldn't think to look for it.
You changed the frequencies.
You have your answers, Mr. Jensen. And I've lost all of mine. The courts may think I have much to atone for, but my court will be a higher one.
How about I take that gun with me when I go?
You got everything you came for. Please, just leave.
Believe it or not, I'd rather you didn't kill yourself.
That's because you have no idea what tortures I've endured. The guilt, the shame. I was told the scientists would be used to find a peaceful solution to the augmentation crisis. Instead, I was involved in kidnapping and murder. My life ended that night. It's time for me to go.
Think about it. Are you really in such a hurry to face that higher court of yours?
At least there are no lies before God. Did you see that abominable press conference? William Taggart all but accused me of terrorism. He claimed that all the violence committed in the name of our cause was the result of my influence.
So stay alive long enough to tell him your side of the story.
He already knows it isn't true. I trusted that man. For years I gave him loyal service, and he betrayed me. He sacrificed my freedom and good name to save the reputation of his organization. It's no use fighting him. He'll just spin it again. At least if I die, he'll never be able to use me again.
So that's your plan? Just lay down and die so you can't be used again? That's bullshit. You need to face what's coming. There's a very thin line between martyr and victim, Sandoval. And if you pull the trigger, you won't be remembered as either.
You certainly like taking chances, Mr. Jensen. But your point has merit. Maybe I did give up too easily. I made it my life's work to try and help people. But Humanity Front was losing people to the so-called enhancement industry every day. Those scientists were my last chance to stop the insanity, and I failed. If anything, my actions helped the pro-augmentation camp.
I hear what you're saying. You care too much. I know what that's like. Too well. Because I've been there. You want to fix everything right away. You want it so much you start trying too hard. Trust me, if you deal with the smaller, easier stuff first, the big things don't look so big.
On the other hand, if you break an infinite problem into smaller pieces, You still have an infinite number of pieces to contend with. Huh. Some doctor. Some Catholic I turned out to be. Planning and participating in a kidnapping that resulted in the deaths of innocent bystanders. I am a mass murderer! My wife. I don't deserve her. Losing her is a just punishment. Except I'm not man enough to face it.
We all have problems, Sandoval. We all have something to atone for. You, me, even Taggart. Your wife will understand that, as will the rest of your family. They'd rather see you live and atone for what you've done than watch you die in shame. Whatever lies ahead, they aren't gonna let you face it alone.
I wish I had your certainty, Mr. Jensen. But you are correct. For the sake of my family, I must give this another try. Take the gun. I don't need it anymore.
Pritchard, get this. The GPLs are still transmitting. Sandoval switched them to a lower frequency.
But they could be broadcasting anywhere in the world. I don't have the type of equipment we'll need to find them.
It's our only lead, Pritchard. You have to do something.
I know. Listen. The riot's still blocking the street entrance. Head back to your apartment and Malik will fly you over. Maybe by the time you get here, I'll have figured out something.
Sparking the riots appears to show scientists performing crude, torture-like experiments on teams of augmented super.
You don't need to babysit me, Mr. Jensen. I have no intention of killing myself anymore. Nor will I resist arrest when the police arrive. I assume your people have already contacted them?
If they haven't yet, they will be soon.
Then go. Use the information I gave you to track down your scientists. With any luck, they will still be alive.
The men who kidnapped them? The soldiers?
I don't know who they were. Only last names. Barrett and Namir. I sensed they were highly trained professionals.
Working for who?
I didn't ask. My brother, Ezekiel, put them in touch with me.
Your brother? Not Taggart?
Bill wouldn't be so stupid as to get his own hands dirty. I see that now. He's like Teflon. Nothing ever sticks. If I knew anything more, I would tell you.
Took to the streets
but the men who kidnapped your people made sure my knowledge of their plans was minimal.
Footage uncovered by Picus.
You don't need to wait with me, Mr.
Toronto,
Jensen.
Mumbai,
I will not resist
Rio
my
de
fate
Janeiro
when it
all
arrives.
report violent clashes taking
Just go
place
and find your
outside
people.
The doors of such well-known
With any luck,
biotechnology firms
the GPL
as
implants
Kusanagi,
will still be active.
Isolay, and Seraph Industries.
Just go and find your people.
The footage sparking the
With any
riots
luck,
appears to show
the
scientists
GPL implants will
performing
still be
crude,
active.
torture-like experiments on teams of augmented super soldiers. Just minutes ago, Zhao Yunru, CEO of the Taiyong Medical Corporation, commented on the images.
I want the world to know that we at Taiyong Medical have not and never will condone these experiments. This company prides itself on maintaining a safe environment and an ethical approach to research at all times. We invite critics and members of the UN to tour our facilities firsthand. They will find nothing but order, progress, and moral responsibility.
Looks as if the ball is now firmly in United Nations court. This is Eliza Kassam, reporting to you live from Picus. Thousands of angry rioters took to the streets in several cities this evening after viewing controversial satellite footage uncovered by Picus. Detroit, Toronto, Mumbai, and Rio de Janeiro all report violent clashes taking place outside the doors of such well-known biotechnology.
Access granted.
Downtown is a war zone.
God, they should call in the National Guard or something.
We've been kept down long enough. Seraph, Taggart, they just want to control us, man.
Fucking cops are brutal. They provoked a riot, man.
Access granted.
Fuck them cops, man.
Yeah, they can't tell us to get off the streets. We own these blocks as much as they